Today we'll mainly see the proverbial struggle for local patriotism, of course, and local independence of the Shishodiyas and the Rathors against the Mughals, which had formed a part of the romantic history of Mughal India. In 1572, Rana Pratap of Mewar ascended the throne. He was conscious of the premier position of Mewar at one time. It was the most important house in Rajasthan, and he had vowed to take it or keep it there as long as he lives. By that time, the Gujarat campaign of Akbar was over. Gujarat was subdued, but for trade, commerce and communication, it was necessary to subdue Rajasthan, because from Gujarat to Agra and Delhi, there are two routes. One route, the eastern one, which is a longer one, goes through Burhanpur, and the shorter one, the straight one, comes through Rajasthan. So therefore, Rajasthan is a necessity for the development of the Mughal state. Akbar at first sent an embassy to Rana Pratap asking for his submission, as well as his personal visit to the Mughal court. Pratap was willing to submit, but he is not willing to visit the Mughal court. Man Singh was sent to Chittor to persuade the Rana, but there was no result. The only thing was that Pratap agreed to send his son Amar Singh to the Mughal court as a Mansabdar. There is a story which even I have read in my school days, that Pratap had insulted Man Singh while he was on his visit to Chittor. There is no basis for such a story. In any case, after the failure of Man Singh, two other embassies were sent by Akbar to persuade Rana Pratap, including that of Todarmal. But these produced no result. Pratap was willing to submit to the Mughals, but was not willing to go to Mughal court to make his personal submission. At this point of time, Chandrasena of Marwar in Jodhpur had begun to create problems for the Mughals from his fort in Siana. The Mughals attacked him, he fled to Mewar. And when the Mughals asked for his handing over to the Mughals, Pratap straightway refused. The Rajputs do not give up the people who has taken refuge in their kingdoms. At that point, Akbar's patience was gone, and he sent a very big army, 5,000 soldiers with light artillery, under the command of Raja Man Singh, to Chittor. Pratap had 3,000 soldiers with no muskets, no cannons. He devastated his own areas up to Chittor, went to the Haldighat Pass and waited there. When the Mughals had reached, Pratap charged furiously from both flanks, right and left, and the Mughal army began to retreat. It was collapsing. At this point, Man Singh sent his reserves, like an excellent general, to both the flanks, which steadied. Pratap was defeated. He fled to the hills. The Mughals occupied Chittor, broke the walls of Chittor to a certain extent, and tried to pursue Rana Pratap in the hills. But Pratap remained there without any problem. It has been stated that the fight of Rana Pratap was the fight for Rajput independence, and it is a Hindu-Muslim fight. This cannot be accepted. In the side of Pratap, there were Afghan soldiers. In the side of the Mughals, there were also Hindu soldiers. Actually, the commander himself was a Hindu, very orthodox Hindu. So therefore, it was not a Hindu-Muslim fight. And Pratap did not fight for other areas. It was a local patriotism for local independence. He wanted his own independence so far as personal visit to the Mughal court is concerned. This kind of problem continued. The pursuit of Rana Pratap did not produce anything. In 1579-80, there were serious revolts in Bengal and Bihar. And the foster brother, Mirza Hakim, foster brother of Akbar, Mirza Hakim, arrived at Punjab claiming the throne of Agra. At this point that Akbar became very busy with the trouble in Bengal and Bihar. And Pratap took this opportunity to recover his old areas, including the ancestral house of Kumbhalgarh, as well as other places, excepting Chittor. He could not get Chittor, but other areas came to him. So therefore, once again, after the Bengal revolt, Akbar sent expeditions to hold Rana Pratap. The expeditions were failure, but Pratap in 1597 died accidentally while stringing a bow. That might remove, Akbar thought, the thorn in his flesh, but it was not to be. Rana Amar Singh, his son, succeeded Pratap and continued the fight. Akbar even sent Salim, later Jahangir, twice without any result. And the desultory warfare continued till for some time after Jahangir became the emperor. At that point, the problem of Mewar had accentuated very much. It was devastated. There was no agriculture. There was depopulation. The earlier generation who fought against the Mughals during the time of Rana Pratap were all gone. The new generation wanted peace. So the Rajput Sardars united and forced Rana Amar Singh to negotiate with Prince Khurram. Amar Singh was reluctant, but he had no choice. Therefore, an agreement was reached between the emperor and Amar Singh. Whether it was a treaty, we do not know. The first one was that the house of Mewar, the Rana, will not go to the Mughal court for personal submission. Number two was that the Rana will send his son or his brother to the Mughal court to submit, to give service also to the Mughals. This was done by Karan Singh as well as by Bhim Singh. The third was that there will be no matrimonial alliances between the Mughals and the house of Pratap. And the Mughals had followed this policy very strictly throughout its period. And the last was that the Shishodiyas of Mewar, they will not repair the walls of Chittor. Chittor will remain as it is. Inside many things could be done, and this had been done, but the walls should remain exactly like that, as it was during the time of Akbar. So more or less this was agreed. The sons of Amar Singh went to join the Mansabdari system. They began to serve in the Deccan Wars, and this was, one might say, the classic example of a mixed administration, a cosmopolitan administration, both Hindus and Muslims joining. Out of 186 Mansabdars of 500 Zat, 1/6 were Rajputs. But there was one change in the policy of Jahangir from the policy of Akbar. Akbar had recruited Mansabdars principally from a particular family, or families rather, the Kachwa family occupying the most of the Mansabs, the Kachwas of Amber, Man Singh, Bhagwan Das, and so on. But Jahangir expanded it. He contracted matrimonial alliances with Bundi, with Bikaner, with Marwar, that is with Jodhpur, and with Jaisalmer as well. Even he married one of the daughters of Bundelkhand Rajas. So there was an expansion of the Mansabdar into the Rajput polity itself, which were restricted to a few, and for which among the Rajputs there were grievances. Now this was far more cosmopolitan. This policy was followed by Shah Jahan as well, and one could see that he literally followed the policy of Jahangir. We come to Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb's policy towards the Rajputs could be divided in two phases. One from his accession to 1670, and the other from 1670 to 1707 when he died. In the first phase, Aurangzeb followed the policy of Akbar to a great extent. One would not say to all extent, but to a great extent, allying with the Rajputs, but making no matrimonial alliances. But in the second phase, from 1670 onwards, this policy was totally reversed. The jizya tax, the hated tax, was imposed. The pilgrimage tax was imposed also. And there was a general feeling that the Hindus are not to be trusted, particularly the Rajputs are not to be trusted. It is in this context that we would see the problems between Aurangzeb and the Ranas of Marwar and Mewar. Rana of Marwar, that is of Jodhpur, Maharaj Jaswant Singh, has fought against Aurangzeb in the beginning of the civil war, but later on joined Aurangzeb as well. He became a very prominent Rajput leader, and he died without any male issue. He had two sons earlier, but those two sons died much early. Now there is no male issue to Jaswant Singh. It may be mentioned here that neither in the Hindu law nor in the Muslim law there is any clause for the eldest son to succeed. That is, there is no law of primogeniture. As a matter of fact, there is no law about succession, excepting that in case of the Muslims, it was the Jama, the Muslim population, they will decide. In case of the Hindus, particularly the Rajputs, it is generally one of the descendants who had been chosen by the Sardars, the leading nobles, to sit on the throne. And there is a tikka ceremony, the ceremony of giving tikka, which marked the ascendance to the throne. Now, in case of Jaswant Singh's death, the problem is that there is no male issue. So therefore there is no question of a descendant as such. Direct descendant is not there. Now, under the circumstances, two claimants appeared. One is Rana Amar Singh's son, Indra Singh. Rana Amar Singh was the eldest brother of Jaswant. And the second claimant was Anup Singh, the son of the daughter of Rana Amar Singh. So both are the descendants of Amar Singh, the elder brother of Jaswant. Now, Aurangzeb decided that according to the Mughal custom, which had been followed by Akbar, by Jahangir, by Shah Jahan, in such case of disputed succession, the state should be taken in the Khalisa, that is to be administered by the Mughal officials. When Jaswant's father died, Jaswant was a minor, and his eldest son Amar Singh was already doing the Mughal service. But Shah Jahan decided for Jaswant, took the state under Khalisa and gave the control of the state to one Mahesh Das Rathore. There was no objection from any quarter, principally because that both of them were descendants of the same person. Now, in this case, there is no direct descendant, excepting there are two Ranis of Jaswant who are in the advanced stage of pregnancy and who are in Lahore. So the chief queen Rani Hadi decided to delay the decision. That is, decided that neither Anup Singh nor Amar Singh's son Indra Singh, should be given till the birth of the two descendants of Jaswant. So she proposed that she would not give Jodhpur town and the fort, but the Mughals can take other parts of Marwar as Parganas as Khalisha. Her argument was that Jodhpur town and fort were the Watan Jaigirs of Jaswant, that is hereditary Jaigirs of Jaswant, which had always been respected by the Mughals as per their custom. So to take this now would be the violation of the Mughal custom itself, not to speak of the violation of the Rajput custom. But Aurangzeb was not willing to listen to such proposals. Perhaps he saw through the game also. So he put Tahir Khan, according to some Tawahir Khan, as the Faujdar of Jodhpur. Tahir Khan was a very brave man, but a very simple man also. Actually, he was sympathetic to the Rajputs, but he remained there at Jodhpur while the Parganas were taken over by Aurangzeb's officials. What Aurangzeb did was that he brought the Qazis and the Muhtasib, religious officers, and appointed them in every town and parganas of Marwar. Along with that, he brought a large number of stone cutters, those who break the temple, on the ground that they are going to search the property of Jaswant Singh under the ground of the fort. And they began to dig up the grounds of the fort of Jodhpur as well as that of Siana. But nothing was found. It is not clear how much money Jaswant had to give to the state, that as dues. One estimate was it is 20 lakh of rupees. It's very difficult to say that. And I'll tell you later why it is thought of 20 lakh of rupees. But Jaswant Singh was not a good manager of money. He was rather lavish and generous, one must say, in spending his money. He had given all his villages to the Sardars with pattas and kept only 32 villages for his own expenses, which are practically nothing. No other ruler, Rajput ruler, has done that. But Jaswant did it. And during his lifetime, there was a heavy dispute between Jaswant and the ministry, Central Ministry of Finance. And the ministry asked him to pay 2 lakh of rupees annually to recover the dues. Obviously, Jaswant did not pay, and the things remain as it is. Now, after the death of Jaswant Singh, the emperor began to make an inventory, search for the treasure, but nothing found. Meanwhile, the stone cutters had been employed by the Qazis and the Muhtasib to break some new temples in Marwar itself. This created a definite problem because the Rajputs were already suspicious of Aurangzeb's motives, now began to think seriously that Aurangzeb wanted to convert the Hindus into Muslims, break all the temples, etc., etc. This was hardly true, because at this point of time, when all these were going on, the two Ranis at Lahore, guarded by the Rajput Sardars, including Durgadas, their leader, gave birth to two sons. The eldest one was Ajit Singh. Now, they were transferred first to Delhi and then to the fort of Agra. The Rathod Sardars now petitioned to Aurangzeb, and one is sure had given pressure also, to nominate Ajit Singh for the Gaddi of Marwar. This was a golden opportunity for Aurangzeb to settle the issue. But strangely enough, he did not take such an action. He did not negotiate. He merely promised that Ajit Singh will be given the state when he comes of age. Meanwhile, the Khalsa will continue. After the birth of these two sons, the picture has changed completely. The Rajputs are more or less united, that they have a descendant, and the Rana of Mewar, in sympathy to Marwar, had sent a contingent of 5,000 to Jodhpur to help the Rani Hadi, the chief queen. But that we shall see next day what happened. Thank you very much.